Well, England's in another lockdown, so I think it's time to do some rankings. So I'm going to rank every single Star Wars movie. I will. I've done this before, but it didn't upload since it was over 15 minutes, so I will go pretty quick. Also, I've decided to censor my hits, and just swearing in general, because why not? I mean, it could be fun, just a little extra editing. I mean, yeah, why not? Who knows, maybe I'll stop doing it after a while. But anyway, let's start. This movie just gets a lot of things wrong. From the Finn and Rose storyline to Rey not being any better of a character, and to what they did to Luke is just absolutely awful. Honestly, I don't like a thing in this movie. The visuals are definitely great, but that's what I expect from a Star Wars movie. Really, it's rubbish, honestly. I don't like it whatsoever. And it does the opposite of what you want things to do. I can understand if you want to be a little bit different, but don't do that at the sake of making the characters worse. I'm sorry, Rian Johnson. He's not a bad director, just not a good choice for franchises, because it just doesn't seem to fit with other people's stuff, if you know what I'm saying. Beside the Clone Wars, this movie can go fuck right off. It's really just poorly put together. It's because it was meant to be 4 episodes before, but then they put it into a movie and it just doesn't work at all, really. With characters constantly just showing up and then disappearing, and then we have a big battle after about every 20 minutes. It's a disaster. I do like the Clone Wars, I like some parts of it, but still, it's not great. Nowhere near good, but better than Last Jedi. I know a lot of people like this movie. I'm not a fan. Like, there's some parts I do like. Krennic is probably the best character, as everyone else is just made out of fucking cardboard. It's ridiculous. They're all based on broad stereotypes, and the plot could have just been explained in a long line of comics, because when you really think about it, do you really want a movie explaining how they got the plans for the Death Star? They could have done it in some comic or video game, whatever. Just, did you really need an over 2-hour movie? The Darth Vader scene was absolutely incredible. Too bad the rest of the movie wasn't. Alright, now we're at the movies that I wouldn't mind watching again, but are just okay, 5 out of 10s. And kicking that off is The Rise of Skywalker. There's some parts that are actually pretty good, like I like seeing Han Solo again. And really just, some of the fighting's pretty cool, I guess. Bringing Palpatine back was absolutely stupid, but at least Lando coming back was actually pretty cool. I like that part. And when Finn's talking to Jannah, the female stormtrooper, that was also kind of cool. But bringing Palpatine back just really to tie it in with the rest of the series, to have the big bad of every single trilogy, that was just so unbelievably stupid. It amazes me how that actually even got into the movie. Attack of the Clones at number 8. And I enjoyed, the romance between Padme and Anakin is absolutely bloody terrible. But when the Clone Wars actually starts on Geonosis, we have all these Jedi fighting Jango Fett. That's pretty cool stuff. I mean, we even see Commander Pons, he's there. It's awesome. Also, Obi-Wan Kenobi's side plot, trying to find out Jango Fett, who's trying to kill Padme Amidala, that's also pretty good stuff. I enjoy that as well. But really, the romance in this movie takes up most of it, and it's really bad. It's really bad. And the fight between Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Count Dooku, that's also pretty horrible. But Count Dooku as a villain, played by the great Christopher Lee, is fantastic. He did a great job. The Phantom Menace, I put at number 7. Duel of the Fates is absolutely amazing. The music, the fighting, absolutely incredible. But some parts aren't so great. I do like the plot. Some people find it boring and hard to watch. I disagree. I enjoyed watching it quite a bit. Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are basically the same for me. But the childish humour is absolutely terrible. Jar Jar being the worst of it. And that's only the beginning with little Anakin, who is a Gary Stew in this movie. As, Rey is a Mary Sue. But Anakin, unlike Rey, actually begins to get flaws. God, I can't stand Rey. Anyway, moving on. At number 6, we have Force Awakens. Now, I would say, overall, this is a good movie. But there are some parts which are absolutely horrible. Like Rey. But we all know why she's bad. Because she can do bloody everything. But also the plot being super similar to A New Hope is just something that is really apparent during Starkiller Base and all of that. And also the plot is really coincidental, but Han Solo's death I think was actually pretty good. Also, Finn is a standout in this movie. Too bad he does not get too much outside of this movie, because he is a badass in this movie. I really, really wish they did his character better. As a stormtrooper becoming a Jedi, who doesn't want to see that? Come on, we all want to see that. And number 4, we have Solo. And now I will be honest with you. I really like this movie. This movie for me is the jump from... There's a pretty big jump from Force Awakens to Solo, A Star Wars Story. Force Awakens I give a 6. This I'd give an 8, okay? I really enjoyed this movie. Beckett, that guy right there, is at the back, just behind Chewie, is a really good character, I think, personally. I wish more people talked about him, but no one ever really does. Now, the stuff with Lando, not really Lando, but mainly his droid, is kind of weird. But, for the most part, I enjoyed this movie. Apart from the fact that basically every big event inside of Han Solo's life takes place here. Now. Why? That's weird. But still, I did enjoy this movie. I know some people don't, and that's understandable. I can understand why. It's very inconsequential, but I did like this movie. This is where it all started, ladies and gentlemen, with one movie. One movie that still holds up almost 44 years later. We have Star Wars: A New Hope. This movie, the graphics, for back then, they were pretty damn good, but now, not so much. But it is still a really entertaining movie. Now, I probably didn't enjoy this one as much as I should have, mainly because I did what everyone told me not to, and watch it after Revenge of the Sith, because I hadn't watched the movies for a long time. So when I really started getting into Star Wars, I watched this one straight after Revenge of the Sith, which I know isn't what you're meant to do. But it is still a great movie. When we have Obi-Wan and Darth Vader dueling, it doesn't have the emotional impact it really should, mainly because this is the first movie, and also the fighting isn't great. But the emotion's high on that one. It's a damn good movie. It still holds up to this day. I think we can all agree the original is one of the best. Now for me, Return of the Jedi tops A New Hope for it's the conclusion. It's the conclusion to the original trilogy with Ewoks. Well, okay. My biggest issue is with the Ewoks, because I understand, they're a little bit ridiculous, but they're still quite a bit of fun. I can understand that some people can be completely turned off by this movie, For me, it gives me a big, long erection, as I just love it so much. And also, you know, the Ewoks, they're cute, at least. You have to agree, they're cute. Well, some of them aren't. But anyway, Lando returns again. Han Solo returns. Everyone's returning. We have a big climactic duel and an amazing space battle and a pretty cool section on the ground. And we see Jabba the Hutt. Next time we'd see that place would be in The Mandalorian. Well, technically the Clone Wars, but still, I think it's better than A New Hope. My runner-up is going to be The Empire Strikes Back. There's nothing wrong with this movie. Even my number one, I can say it has issues with. But this one, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It has romance, it has death, it has... You know, because the heroes lose in this one. Sure, not many people die, but still, the heroes lose. And, you know, we get introduced to this character called Lando. We all know Lando, who was originally a scumbag, but then turns into the good guy. Han Solo is just the best in this movie. Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader with an amazing duel. It is just all really, really good. Honestly, you will not find yourself bored in this movie. I can assure you of that. For me, number one is Revenge of the Sith. It's because I grew up with this movie. Sure, it was made before I was born, but that was only a year. And I really think Clone Wars helped me love this movie so much more, because I did grow up with that show. And Revenge of the Sith is the ultimate tragedy. In every sense of the word, the heroes lose. And so much evil is created. That's so cool. Come on. Well, not really cool. More tragic. But you know what I mean. I don't have a script. I'm just spitting out words. The duel on Mustafar, while it is really long, it's still very impressive and well done. General Grievous, I love General Grievous. He is one of my favourites. And Commander Cody, another one of my favourites. And they make their first appearance in this. Well, technically they appeared in the 2003 Clone Wars, but that's not the point. This is my favourite Star Wars movie. And that is why it comes in at number one, even though, some ridiculous stuff like Padme dying of a broken heart and Vader shouting, "No!" is ridiculous, but still, it's number one for me. Please just tell me your lists in the comments below. I would love to hear them, as that stuff is always very interesting to me, even though only one person will comment. I can assure you there will only be one comment there. But if there's more, that's always nice. Anyway, I'll see you later, soldiers. Goodbye.